What's going on, everyone? Appreciate y'all coming here and checking out this Fallout 76 video. In this one, I'm just basically following up with my word. I did mention how I would be showcasing my builds soon because I was getting a lot of questions over what I use for it. And I thought this would also be pretty beneficial to make for newer players that will be just starting out when Fallout 76 Wastelanders starts. Because I know there's going to be a lot of new players hopping on board when that officially releases. Now, this is kind of embarrassing, but I have put a lot of time into this game. As you can see, if you go to challenges and then down to character, you can check how much hours you have put into the game. I am nearing 2,000 hours. I have 1,782 hours. So on that note, that should go to show that I do have a lot of experience within the game. And I've also met a lot of players and talked about what they were using for their builds as well. So yeah, I guess first off, let's go ahead and get started with these perk cards for my Bloodied VATS Sneak rifle build. Now, you don't have to technically have exactly what I got, but overall what I have is pretty solid. Like, for instance, this Charisma Team Medic, you could switch out for something else. Obviously, Team Medic isn't super beneficial. Like, Tenderizer would be more beneficial within the Charisma category there. But yeah, I was using Team Medic because, well, I wanted to help my team a little bit more. So yeah, keep that in mind. I'm always alternating perk cards within my build for certain scenarios. But overall, what you're seeing here is what I typically use. By the way, before I get into all of this, it'd be greatly appreciated if you could take a little bit of your time and leave a like on the video. That'd be greatly appreciated because it would help get this video more passed around the community so more players can learn about this build so they can utilize it for themselves. Also, maybe subscribe if you're new around here for daily Fallout 76 content. I have literally dedicated my channel to Fallout 76. Okay, so in the strength category here, as you can see, I have 3 points in it, and I have a level 3 barbarian. As you can see, what this does is every point of strength adds +4 damage resistance. Having high damage resistance is extremely important, especially while playing as a bloodied build, because you also have that risk factor at being low health, and you have a chance at dying easier, in a sense. But if you have a solid setup, you don't die super easy. Also, keep in mind, I know it does says every point of strength adds +4 damage resistance, so you're like, wait a minute, rifle. You only have 3 points in your strength category. You only gain an additional 12 damage resistance. No, that's not technically true. I'm going to be getting more into this here in a bit. The reason why I don't only gain 12 damage resistance is because of the unyielding armor. That gains you +3 to all stats when you have low health. And I'll be getting more into that after I go over all these perk cards. But yeah, the unyielding armor set is a must if you're rocking a bloody build. But anyways, next up here in the perception category, as you can see, I have 13 points into that. I don't think I have to say how many points I have in each category every time. But yeah, as you can see, I got Master Commando, which fully upgraded commando perk cards make it so your automatic rifles do +20% damage. This all depends on what kind of weapon you're using. If you're using a non-automatic rifle, as you can see, you want to upgrade the Rifleman perk cards. This will make it so your non-automatic rifles do more damage. For instance, a lever action rifle. But I'm using an automatic rifle, specifically the Fixer. Also, I am using Tank Killer. As you can see, this makes it so my rifle ignores 36% armor, and it has a 9% chance to stagger the enemy. And I got all the other commando perk cards upgraded to gain a total of 60% extra damage. Keep in mind that there's only 3 of these kind of perk cards that will increase your damage a total of 20% if you have it fully upgraded. This goes with anything else as well, even melee builds. It's crucial to make sure you get all the commando perk cards upgraded or all the rifleman perk cards upgraded, depending on what rifle build you're using. And lastly, I have 1 into concentrated fire. Now, this isn't technically a must-have perk card. I just use this because it helps me cripple the Scorched Beast Queen so she doesn't take off flying as often. That's the only reason why I have this equipped. It allows you to target the wings specifically. Anyways, next up in the endurance category, I upgraded Ironclad all the way. As you can see, it gives me +50 damage and energy resistance, which is once again pretty crucial if you're running a bloodied build because you're playing that risk factor over having low health. Next up here, for the Charisma category, I got it at level 4 and I'm using Strange in Numbers and Tenderizer. Like I just mentioned in the beginning here, I did have Team Medic on. Sometimes I swap it out also with Suppressor. I mean, it just all depends really on the scenario. But Tenderizer is a great choice because, as you can see, what this perk card does is it makes your target receive 7% more damage for 10 seconds after you attack it. Pretty nice. Some additional damage right there. Also, another perk card to look into besides Tenderizer is the Lone Wanderer, if you typically play alone. This makes it so you take a significant amount of less damage and you gain faster action point regeneration, which is beneficial for a VAT sneak build. Next up here, we have Nerd Rage, which this is a must if you're running a Bloodied build. A must. What this perk card does is, while below 20% health, you gain 40 damage resistance, which is important once again, and you get 20% extra damage and 15% action point regeneration. Action point regeneration is extremely important for VAT sneak builds because you want to keep VATsing your enemies because that's how you're going to be dealing out the most amount of damage. Next up here for the agility category, I got Action Boy. I only got this at level 1, but as you can see, the name speaks for itself. It regenerates your action points a bit faster. 15% faster at rank 1, 30% faster at rank 2, and 45% faster at rank 3. Sometimes I do use rank 3. It just depends really on what I'm using. At the moment though, it's night, so I have Mr. Sandman on it, and this is a highly underrated perk card. Highly underrated. As you can see, at night when you have this fully upgraded, your silenced weapons do an additional 50% sneak attack damage. That's a lot of extra attack damage right there. It's insane. I'll be showing that off here in a bit. Anyways, next up here I got Covert Operative, which is a must for a sneak build. In general, it's a must because this is how you're going to be dealing out the most amount of damage. As you can see, what this does is your ranged sneak attacks will deal 2.5 times more than their normal damage. Next up, I got the Sneak perk card fully upgraded. This makes it so I'm 75% harder to detect, which this combined with the Fixer improved sneak, it's just insane how much you do not get detected. Like, you could be literally in front of an enemy and they will still not see you. It's ridiculous. I'll show you guys an example once I start showing off the build a little bit. Right now I'm just showing you guys the perk cards so you guys can get these down. Next up here I got the Escape Artist, and this makes it so I can sneak to lose enemies and running no longer affects stealth. And lastly I got Adrenaline at rank 5. Anyways, lastly up here, the luck category, I have Bloody Mess. This is a crucial perk card to have. This will gain you 15% extra bonus damage, and also it'll make enemies explode into a gory red paste. And I also have Grim Reaper Sprint. As you can see, any kills in VATs has a 15% chance to restore all action points. I decided, you know what, why not? I'll add 1 into that because it'd be handy if that actually does proc sometimes. Next up here I have Better Criticals. This makes it so your VATS criticals will do 40% extra damage. This is really important to have for a VAT sneak build. Next up I have Serendipity. Once again, an extremely important perk card, especially if you're running a Bloodied build. While below 30% health, you gain a 45% chance to avoid damage. Having this is really beneficial because you're playing that risk factor once again while, rocking the Bloodied build. And next up here I got 4-Leaf Clover. Each hit in VATs has a chance to fill your critical meter. And lastly, Starched Genes, which makes it so I won't get rid of my mutations. Speaking of mutations, now let's go ahead and get into those next. Okay, so my mutations that I have, I don't have many of them. I could have more than what I'm showing here, but the most important one that you want to worry about when rocking a Bloody build is Adrenal Reaction. As you can see, this increases your weapon damage at low health. Also, another good one to have if you're rocking like a melee build is Talons, which is pretty beneficial. Now let me go ahead and get into the Unyielding Armor set. This is a must-have if you're going with a Bloody build. As you can see, I have a full set of Unyielding here. I don't have them equipped at the moment. Let me go ahead and show you my stats. As you can see, I have 3 Strength, 13 Perception. I just went over these pretty much. You know what these look like. Now let me go ahead and show you what these look like once I equip my Unyielding Armor set. Bam! 19 Strength, 28 Perception, 6 Endurance, 19 Charisma, 14 Intelligence, 26 Agility, and 29 Luck. Extremely useful. Anyways, now let's go ahead and get into the weapons that I'm using. As you can see, starting off with the Bloodied Fixer. This is a weapon that you really want to try to get your hands on if you're trying to create a solid Bloodied VAT sneak rifle build. As you can see, the reason why is because that top perk there, this automatically comes with any fixer. It gives you improved stealth and it makes you so you have faster sneaking movement speed. Definitely an amazing weapon to have for a sneak build. I just wanted to mention I don't have like the best rolls on this fixer. As you can see, I got plus 33% VATS hit chance. That's not a bad roll to have. Also, I have plus 50 damage resistance while aiming. What you really want to look out for on a fixer is plus 25% faster fire rates or something to deal with VATS. Like I just showed you, for instance, that plus 33% VATS hit chance is a nice one. or like what I have on this handmade here, 25% less VATS action point cost, or possibly this one, VATS critical meters fill 15% faster, and lastly this one right here would be a solid one as well. VATS critical shots do plus 50% damage, and your VATS critical meter fills 15% faster. Sadly, this is an anti-armor though. But yeah, those are some effects that you really want to look out for your weapons with a sneak build. Also, I sometimes use a Bloodied handmade too. As you can see, this one does have 25% faster fire rate, which is really beneficial. And it has VATS critical meters fill 15% faster, which is pretty solid to have with, once again, a sneak build. But yeah, now since I've talked about the weapons and how to set up the build and what armor pieces and mutations you should try looking out for, now let's go ahead and get into what this build is capable of. Check this out. Banger! 1,000. Really? Where are all the enemies? What the heck? Oh my gosh! What the heck was that? Anyways, I found the enemies, but I'm not getting sneak attacks now. There it was. That's a sneak attack right in front of its eyes. Oop, 1,200, almost 1,300 right there. What the? How did I not? There we go. Most of these ghouls will die in a single bullet too. What the? Oh my gosh! He just slid over to me and kicked me in my ankles. Smooth move, ghoul. I didn't expect that. I need to learn that ghouls build. Sheesh, that was awesome. Yeah, I'm hopping. That's scary. They got some ninja ghouls in that server. Don't want to mess around with them. I'm waiting a minute for the ghouls to spawn in because I don't want no ninja ghouls sliding up on me and kicking me in my ankles again. Alright. Now let's go around and one-shot some ghouls. Check it. One bullet, one bullet. One bullet. That might have been two by accident. One bullet. One bullet. One bullet. One bullet. As you can see, my damage is steadily increasing too because of the adrenaline. See, that was 1,400 something. Almost 1,500. One shot. Ooh, that was a 1,500 right there. 1,500 again. 1,500. 3,000. That's ridiculous. So now I'm going to go ahead and take out some more enemies just to demonstrate this build a little bit more. Let's go ahead and go over to... Let's go take out the behemoth. Yeah, that sounds like a bit of fun. Let's go do it. So I'm going to go ahead and use a Calmex, Overdrive, and Psychosats too. So 2 bullets it seemed to take it out or so. 2 or 3. Anyways, now let's head on over to... Let's go fight a Mirelurk Queen. Let's do that. There you are, Sleeping Beauty. Well, I shouldn't be hitting its shell, should I? Instantaneously dies. Anyways, moving on. Let's go take out a Scorch Beast. Yeah, let's go do that. Wowzers. I got some serious rats going on right now. Any moment I'm about to die. Spawn Scorch Beast. Seriously? Alright, there it goes. Level 80. Banger! Just like that. What's my damage looking like? 347. Not bad. So yeah, there you guys have it, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. This isn't my first build video that I've ever done. I've actually showed videos in the past when we could easily get to 10,000 damage. And I showed them going up against the Scorch Beast Queen. Those were a lot of fun. I might show this build off in the future going up against Scorch Beast Queen. But at the moment, in this one, I just wanted to show you all the perk cards. You know, how it is beneficial. I mean, you guys have seen proof now that it does seriously rock enemies. But yeah, hopefully you end up utilizing this for yourself and it helps you out. I'm out of here, everybody. Thanks for taking the time watching and listening. As always, if you found this enjoyable, consider taking a little bit of your time and leaving a like. And hey, if you're new around here, maybe consider giving my channel a chance and sticking around and subscribing for more Fallout 76 content. As always, though, that is totally up to you. Until next time, everyone, peace.